2 reasons. So the music business has got a lot of challenge, but that notwithstanding, it is also a lucrative business when you really know the ins and outs, because there are people both in Ghana and outside Ghana who have ventured into music business and they are making it.
Now moving on, artist, manager and entertainment pundit Ashis has some words to say about businessmen or business people venturing into the entertainment space in Ghana. And he is saying that lots of businessmen have lost interest in Ghana's creative space. Now, he stated that a lack of business structure is driving investors away from Ghana's creative space, forcing artists to become dependent on government support. Now, government support on the free. Now, he says a lot of structures are not in place. A lot of businessmen have lost interest in our space. If I'm a businessman and I want to invest money into a craft and I call 10 people to give me a business plan, 8 out of 10 people will not be able to tell me how I could make my money back. And he also concluded that this fundamental breakdown is the primary reason why the industry is struggling to stand on its feet and why creatives are often left with no choice but to depend on government. Once again, government bang wasem na working papa. But this thing, I think it came up in one of our conversations some weeks ago, and it looks like it's becoming a big issue, because if businessmen are not showing interest in our industry, then how else are we going to thrive? Because obviously these artists cannot do this on their own.
No, so the businessmen that are not doing it are people who have turned their eye to look at something else, because either they entered the venture and they were not making sales, or some of them have failed to adapt to how the sector keeps on changing with things. Like the sector itself keeps on changing. If you are talking about music and movies, gone are the days we're selling cassettes and CDs. Now it's about digital streams, to the point where there were pen drives and all of those things. It has changed. So generally, if I was an investor who had a CD shop, or I was Osewu's production, and use as an example, because that's the one that comes to my head. Osewu's production is producing movies, having a shop that sells those movies and all of that. Mm-hmm. And now the CD system is spoiled, and there is no proper orientation to him that now you can also enter a digital space that quick. So the money you were recouping from CDs, you have to invest in probably YouTube or a Netflix account. Then you will make that your profit back again.
Yeah.
They might think it's still the same old same. Mm-hmm. So they did it. They pumped money into maybe a movie, and the movie came out and nobody bought the CD. And people had to copyright and put it on YouTube and watch it for free.
Yeah.
So now he has lost revenue. So in his mind, Ejwana say, senior Ejwan de enye. Nti say I'm shopping kwa the tone phones. But the tone electrical cables. Mejai. That is how the sector is now.
Beka just enkafa kofa enkoko. Fire poultry farm.
You get it. It is because emredane no. When winning temandane. You know why I love Osei Kwame Despite? The man was so sharp. The man started from selling cassettes. He entered into music production. He found out that when I'm done, but I'm will be sure. My cats young for me. Great, I did that. Where do scats now? Where do? Hey, sure, now so they could munija. I'm confused. I was very confused. Sika pocho bet on Mankasa. No, because I be my confused. Many of what all they want to my confused him. Sibet on and Kasa Pocho.
What cat?
Or call over film about a big cat. And how I pee. Yes, so the person will say Waboka because or the music guy movie. That's why I gave you the example of Osekwame Despite. Osekwame Despite knew he was selling cassettes. He moved into the music production itself. As a music producer, you sort DJs to play artists their song, you pay payola. So you open the radio station yourself. When you open the radio station, the music, and when they are done, they'll shoot a music video. You show it on your TV station. You have a TV station, the world is moving from only the analog to the social media. You've been able to build United digitals. It's still under. It's about Despite Media. They have their own digital space that it is also generating funds on its own. So such a businessman would not tell you the sector is failing. Such a businessman has invested in the sector, having over four active radio stations in the country. I stand to be corrected, maybe 5 or more, multiple radio stations actively in the country working. He has invested in the sector. What happened to Osewu's that was also doing Osewu's production that said it had moved from cassettes or CDs to online, so now their job might not work.
Maybe he also
Osewu's is just an example I'm making.
Something different.
No, I'm not saying he's the one. It's just an example I'm making.
Yeah, I'm sure there are so many Osewu's out there. They
and
also
there are
decided
lots of them
because they couldn't migrate. HM,
our own HM.
Yes.
Where is he?
Miracle Films and stuff.
Miracle Films.
Miracle
Mr. Miracle. He uploaded the movies. He's deleted all of them from YouTube. I don't know. The Untold. Do you know? Back when the days, they were using any song as a soundtrack.
Of course, yeah.
But now
You can't just use somebody.
Now the strikes are going to come. Yeah, the strikes are going to come.
Instagram will strike you down. So it
YouTube
affects
is going
them.
to strike
YouTube,
you,
sorry. YouTube. So it would not even help your algorithm. So generally, Dania, now what Danny? That's what big businesses do. There are firms in this country that we know that probably today they are pharmaceutical companies that they didn't start as pharmaceutical companies. Probably it was even a provision shop that the people were able to see. Okay, now people comfort no didn't yet. There's also from a pharmacy. And now the pharmacy, you bet me cry a draw. Any a draw, any a draw, and yenja be an ton. Ne draw no, because you are no moody in your go or moody some bear on Baba draw. That is what every good business that has a plan does. A business that knows it has a future. You're able to calculate all of those things. I'm sure, okay, no, I'm not going to use that example. I always use an example, but I've skipped it. So generally, people who do businesses know what they are getting themselves involved. If you are in the creative arts sector or you want to invest in the creative arts sector, just know that, okay, every time it will change. So I would also have to change my ways in doing business so I can accommodate.
All right, teacher Ima, your thoughts on this one?
Sika, music business has really come to stay. It's been there for that long and it's still going to be there. Our main problem is that business people should move from the traditional kinds of businesses to the contemporary type of doing businesses. So when you go to a businessman and talk to him about, come and invest in the music industry, the person will tell you, say new media, any industry, I'm thinking about venturing into mining, maybe into imports and exports, into the timber industry, into the service industry and other stuff. But music, there, Charlie, no lie. He wouldn't try at all because one, it is a very high risk venture that you are venturing.
Yeah.
Number two, talking about the lifespan of recouping your what do you call it, your investment. And it is, you can't quickly determine that because it is not that physical product that you are putting it in a store that somebody can come and buy. So we have tangible and intangible. Music is that intangible because you can't force somebody to come and buy or listen to your music. I hope you understand. For provisions, if people are not buying, you can decide to even reduce the prices and sell it out to people to get rid of those things from your shelves. But music is what is different. So the amount of resources too that is needed to be pumped into music is that high that before somebody pumps that kind of money into that industry, the person has to get very solid analysis, has to get solid evidences. As Willie would say, businesses are looking at spreadsheets. They are not looking at whatever you are talking about. Are you bringing me a good spreadsheet that would tell me that if I'm able to pump so and so million into your music, I am getting this amount of money? No, we do not have it. But somebody who deals mining, at least they can give you that, oh, probably in a day we are able to get these ounces of gold. When you export it, we are getting this kind of profit. So the person is happy and can even that very day, the person is getting a profit back. Sika, today, if you have money and you get a concession, and the very day you start mining, you are getting something. But what about music? It will take you years before your artist can get you a hit song. You can get the hit song, but you can't make money out of it, because we've heard a lot of musicians who tell us, oh, minya hit way back, but me sika out of that due to one or two reasons. So the music business has got a lot of challenge, but that notwithstanding, it is also a lucrative business when you really know the ins and outs, because there are people both in Ghana and outside Ghana who have ventured into music business and they are making it depending on the strategies that they do, what they used, and the people that they consulted before investing their money. So it's all about learning. So before, you should ensure that before you pump your money into music or into the entertainment industry, you have studied the industry and you know what you are going to do. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't study it and from influences, what do you call it? Black Shave dancing or buy or travel. So you didn't also study and quickly you go and put your money in there. Probably your artist might not blow like Black Sheriff has blown, and your money will get stuck along the way. So it is about learning. Investors have to learn, acquire information from all sources that they can put together so they can base their decision whether to invest or not to invest on these evidences that they have from researches that they have seen. But if we decide to throw money in the industry like that, it will not work. That notwithstanding, we are calling on people who have money to come and invest, but they should do their research well before they invest their money, or else it will take a lot of time before they are able to make their money. Probably you wouldn't have that patience, because businessman, he has invested and looking at 2-3 years. No, our artists, it takes people 10 years, 15 years, 9 years, 8 years before they are even able to get one hit song. So imagine if somebody were to be investing in him. Probably by that time, the person.
I'm sure somebody gave up along the line.
We have a lot of businessmen who have given up on people. I hope you understand. So they shouldn't still give up. They should come in, but they should know what they are doing, get adequate information before they start anything in the music industry. But when you get it right, you are going to enjoy. If you don't get it right, you put your hands on your head.
That's a good one from Teacher Eva.